I'm a judge just like any other judge, and I just want justice. And pasty tits. And coffee. Case closed.
It's the Sway Parade with Chuck Sway.
Welcome into the Sway Parade. My name is Chuck Sway, and this is the parade. Oh, man. It's been a doozy of a week. I've been super sick. I don't think that it was the big C, the COVID. I took a test. It said negative. First time, actually, that I took a test. Came back, didn't say I had it, but I had something super phlegmy. I still can't fully hear out of my left ear, which has been super fun. I don't know if you've ever had clogged ears. I'm sure you've had, where you take your nose and try to equalize your ears. I have tried that multiple times to no avail. I've learned a lot about my whole sinus cavity, though. Mainly that when you do that, you get a lot of pressure on your eyes. And I was afraid I was going to have one of my eyes just pop out. But still ear hasn't popped. So I'm going one ear, waiting. I'm just praying for that. It'll just freaking pop. I am going to be on a plane. Actually, the time that this comes out, and that you're listening to this, if you're listening to this on the release date of Tuesday, I'm probably in the air right now. That's my biggest hope, is that once we get up to altitude and the pressure just kicks my ear in its pants and balls, so it pops so I can finally hear again, because this has been just miserable. But with that being said, next week, I won't be here. But I have a special fill-in guest that's going to do their version of the parade. But this parade, what is it? Well, it's the promenade down the infinite street of peculiar news, country strong. I almost said deep shot. It's a both country strong and deep shot sports, and scrub clips from around the net. Now, here are a few things to look forward to for this week's episode. Josh Allen, Content King. Bikini Barista Justice, an historically accurate Civil War reenactment. But before we get into any and all of that, I'm going to take a quick second to drop down to my proverbial knees and ask for your offerings in addition to listening or watching this show. Whatever platform you're listening on, if you're watching on YouTube, do what you've been conditioned to do. Like it, subscribe, leave a review, leave a comment, because any and all of that is offerings to the almighty algorithm. There's actually a YouTube short that got posted in real time today. Doing pretty well, a couple thousand views on the YouTubes. And some comments as well. Not all of them are positive. It's pretty critical remarks of, terrible video. I got to go back, do my day job. Mid content. I think we're two of them that are still in my brain rent free. But here's the thing. Not only do I have the last laugh, but the almighty algorithm has the last laugh, because all of that is engagement. So, when you are subscribing, leaving a comment and a review and all that stuff, it doesn't have to be positive. You say whatever you want, because as I just mentioned, it is an offering to the almighty algorithm. And like it or not, if you're religious outside of the almighty algorithm, outside of the digital space, you still have to admit that this algorithm, the almighty one, dictates everything we do out there, online, the metaverse, the digital universe. So, positive or not, leave a review, do all that stuff. It would be fantastic. Moving on, there's a hotline for this show, has been since day one, that you can call And that number is always open. It's dedicated to this show. For the viewers on YouTube, I put it up on the screen. For listeners, write down the number, memorize it. It's pretty easy, actually. 818-275-SWAY. The numericals to the SWAY, 7929. 818-275-7929. Here's how this works. You call the number. You leave any sort of message. Say whatever you want. Kanye, if you want to call and spout off about how you don't like Jewish people, you can do that. The ridicule will come, sure, but you say whatever you want, because here's the thing. I don't know what is said on these calls until pretty much right now. Again, in real time. We have a caller this week. I haven't screened it. I don't know what it says. I'm just going to play it. So keep that in mind when you call 818-275-SWAY and have some fun with it. And also, because it's a lot of pressure, like, oh, whatever I say here, it's just going to go essentially live. There's a collection of keys on the number pad you can press, I think, to restart the message. It's like *2, something like that. Just if you are really nervous, you have this script in front of you, like, oh, okay, what I want to say is perfectly mapped out in my head, but I got to stick to the script. And then you flub up a word and you got to, for messing up, it's *2 or whatever it is. You can restart. Anyways, just trying to make it as easy as it can be when calling this hotline, which, the number, by the way, again, 818-275-SWAY, 7929. Let's check out what the caller had to say this week.
Hey, Chuck. Michael calling in, playing some 13 here with some good molds of our friend group, and just remember that your luck has really been down in this card game the last couple of times we've played. So just wanted to see how the training's been going. Have you been doing the 13 solvers? Just really hoping the best for you, but just wanted to check in because I know it's been rough the last couple of times we've played. All right, have a great day.
All right, Michael, thank you for the call. He is talking about the card game 13. I believe traditionally it's called Tien Len from Vietnam. I'm not sure its country of origin. We've bastardized it in a way in our group, in our American group, and it's just called 13. Name of the game if you haven't played it before. Everyone starts off with 13 cards, 2 through ace, no jokers. And the goal is to get rid of your hand as quickly as possible. And just a quick rundown of how it works. Whoever has the lowest card, which is actually the 3 of clubs and the way we play it, and the high cards are actually the 2s. But whoever has a low card starts off the round, and you can either play a single card, you could play a run of 3 or more, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, Jack, Queen, King, any combination of that. Or you could do pairs. You could do 3 of a kind. What else? So there's bombs, the triple doubles, 3 consecutive pairs, and a run that pretty much trumps, any hand. But anyways, you play through. By the time you get to like the higher cards, say you start with a single 3, someone plays a 6, someone else plays a 9, last person plays an ace, and you have a 2, but you don't want to play it, then you pass. And once everyone has passed, the person that last played won that round and gets to start over all over again. Play it. And again, you play until your hand is gone, and that's the name of the game. Michael's call and his question here is how I've been doing with 13 with training, because I have not had good luck at this game for the last couple years. Honestly, I've been on a rough streak. And here's the thing. This game is equally luck as it is skill. My skill is top notch. I've just been on a bad luck streak. So if you do want to check this game out and don't have 3 other friends to play it with, there's actually an app you can download. I have it on my phone. Talk about training. It's just called Teinlein, Teinlein. I think that's how it's spelt. You can play against a computer, set it to hard, learn the tricks of the trade of the game. I have been playing that game lately, almost every night. And by every night, I mean almost every early morning. It's a terrible habit I have. I'll get into bed. I'm like, all right, it's time to go to sleep. I got shit to do the next day. And then I'm like, yeah, but I could play some 13. So I open up that app and play. My luck in the game has been good, but the AI of that game is only so good. So I just got to get out of this lucky streak and or unlucky streak rather. And maybe this cleansing of my immune system of being sick for the last week might be just that thing to cleanse my spirit of the bad luck that I've been having with 13. So there's your answer, Michael, for your call. A little cheeky. I noticed, I want to say there was some cheekiness in the question because you have been besting me as well as everyone else in that friend group. But here's the thing. What goes around comes around. And I'll see you next time on the 13 table. Well, that does it for the calls for this week, or the call. A reminder again, that number 818-275-SWAY. Call up, insult me on my card playing abilities, tell a funny story, do whatever you want. Number's open. It's always open. Just give it a call. Moving on here in the show, getting into the meat and the potatoes, we have our first segment, which is the deep shot.
Look at that big old belly.
Chuck, you're getting me restless. The deep shot.
And the sports segment of the show. Before we get into it, actually, I want to remind everyone there is a ESPN Pick'ems game going on for the current NFL season. It's a $100 grand prize for whoever scores the most points throughout the season. At this point, if you haven't joined in, you're not going to win that $100 prize, but there's still an incentive to join in. Each week, whatever week coincides with the week that's going on of the week, is how many dollars is up for grabs. So we are, by the time this comes out, just concluded week 8 of the season. It's going to be an $8 grand prize for whoever has the top pick for that week. And it's only going to get up. So if you join this week, you will enter into week 9 and have a chance to win $9. Next week, $10. The week after that, $11. So if you want to join that, go to the description on the podcast on an audio platform, or go to the show notes and go to the video description on YouTube. There's a link there. It is password protected. The password's super easy. You might have to swallow your pride if you're not a Buffalo Bills fan, but the password is JoshIsDaddy17. All lowercase, no spaces. JoshIsDaddy17. You join the group. It's Pick'ems. It's as simple as it sounds. You pick the team that you think is going to win in whatever matchups are that week. If you don't think you can do it, well, let me tell you, Mrs. Sway, my wife, there it is. She's kind of, I wouldn't even say she's watched football. She has sat on the couch and endured football being on TV with me for years, but she doesn't really understand the game. We've been together almost 10 years. And last week, I believe it was the first time she asked a technical football question of how much is a touchdown worth. She's like, is it 6? I'm like, that is correct. Even with her limited knowledge on the sport, she is beating me in Pick'ems right now. You just have to have a pulse. You just pick a team and you could win some money. She's actually won, I think, 2 or 3 weeks so far, but she doesn't qualify to get paid because she paid the ultimate price of marrying me. But you're not married to me, so you could win some money. So Pick'ems if you're interested. Now, moving on to what the actual deep shot is. Josh's daddy, Josh Allen, big inspiration to the show, big fan. The show is a big fan. Long history of Josh Allen, and the saga continues with what Josh Allen is doing right now, because the Bills are a pretty good team. And you would think if you are an expert at your craft that you have to, maintain focus and just be a competitor, win football games. For a lot of people, that should be the case. But for the Bills, it seems like winning comes naturally. So this is from the Buffalo Bills Twitter of just Josh being their content king, as it was previewed at the top of the show. Let's take a listen and a look.
Move it. Open up, we need more content now. Well, memes, videos, anything. What do you got? What about Thermos Thomas? It's too weird. No, that's not it. Sean McDermott? Are you crazy? That's even crazier. All right. Video. What about this? It's pretty good, but it's too light. What else you got? It's just too big. You gotta have something else for us. How about I make you one right now? All right, guys. See you later.
Thermos Thomas? I kind of like it.
So just to put this into perspective and to break it down for the listeners, not the viewers, there is some media desk with RGB lights and all this fun stuff, multiple monitors, and they go up to the closet, and lo and behold, there's Josh Allen inside the closet, like, make us content. And then he's just like, let's do this. I think my favorite one is when he does the snoring dad with Dawson Knox face, just garbage, whatever the genre is, where they blow it up and make it pixelate, all that, whatever. I like that one. But just to put this into perspective, there are millions of people out there in the world that are making content like this of any quality, really. But Josh Allen is a NFL quarterback, and a damn good one. And he makes like what is it? $250 million. That's his whole contract. He's making like $35 million a year, being just an expert at his craft. But then the Bills social media team approaches him, and this seems like, just makes it seem like Josh Allen is such an approachable and down to earth guy. As they come up to him, it's like, hey, we want to make a TikTok, Twitter, tweet, Instagram post. Here's what we had in mind. You're going to be in the closet, and then you're going to make all this content, and then we're going to put these shades on you, and you're going to jam on a guitar. Let's go do it before you go to practice. And they did it. Good guy Josh Allen strikes again. And there's another clip of him. This was from a week or two ago when the Bills were on their bye. He ended up taking his girlfriend, I don't think they're engaged yet, his girlfriend to a San Diego Padres game when the Padres were still in contention for the baseball playoff World Series. So here's just a snippet, lull of the game. It's baseball. So, you have a lot of time to find who's come to see and watch people throw balls at bats and hit it and, baseball stuff. So this is what we got here. It's just a little selfie and a look up, but they say, oh, Josh Allen here at the ball game today with his girlfriend or fiance. Are they engaged? I'm not sure. 2-0 the count. The pretty pedestrian. It's kind of like, well, why are we just watching Josh Allen take a selfie with his girlfriend / fiance? Well, because it's Josh Allen. You get the gist of it by now. But also the replies in these tweets. There is a theme of some of the responses that Josh looks a little zooted in this short clip. I don't know where they're getting this information from. He smiles, the picture's done. I mean, it's kind of the perfect, like, put on a face for the internet and for that almighty algorithm. Take your smiles, it gets snapped instantly. I think her name's Brittany. face just goes solemn. Josh's face goes solemn. You know, selfie's over. Like, let's go back to just being normal, miserable people. And Josh just kind of wipes his nose. Pretty common hand gesture, but people are like, he's on coke. I've been doing coke for 25 years. I know what a coke fiend looks like when they need some more booger, sugar. I don't really see it. In all honesty, picture gets taken. He kind of taps on the shelf in front of him. Looks like they're in a suite. And then they kind of look up. Someone might be coming down, whatever. And he wipes his nose. You might have an itch. I mean, dude's got a mustache. I got a mustache. Sometimes hair just kind of likes to tickle your nasal a little bit. If anything, he's waiting for his chili dog because it's a bye week. You can splurge a little bit. So Josh Allen on cocaine? I don't think so. At least not during the season. What you do in the off season is, do whatever you want to do. From what I know, I've never tried cocaine. It's a quick turnaround as far as a drug test goes. You do a bunch of blow, 2-3 days later, doesn't show up on a test. So maybe, but I doubt it. Moving on and sticking with NFL quarterbacks and their shenanigans. Aaron Rodgers, quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, at practice here, just a short, fun little clip. He's stretching out and, he does a little rub of the nipple. Oh. I mean, you got to stretch everything out, especially as a world-class competitor, an NFL player, NFL quarterback. Just stretching it out and just, I need to make sure they are loose because Daddy has 2 zipples to throw the football. Aaron Rodgers, to my knowledge, has no German lineage. But anytime nipples are at play, with nipple play, I just default to my zipples. You don't call them nipples, they're zipples. And Z is one of the best letters, the best letters in the German English language. Oh, the zipples feel so good. I'm going to throw so many touchdowns. The parallel here is the Bills and the Packers just played each other. The Bills won. Good win for the Bills. Game hasn't happened yet real time, so I don't know. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers, everyone should be doing this. When you're stretching, you got to make sure your little nips are good to go as well. Next clip, last of the quarterbacks. Mac Jones, quarterback for the New England Patriots, played. This was the Monday night game a couple weeks ago. He is out on a scramble for the time he was out on the field. And quarterbacks, you got to protect, everything, especially when you're a franchise player. Teams spend a lot of money to have someone hike a ball, hand it off, throw it, do whatever. And they got to protect these players, among others. And as you saw in the Aaron Rodgers Zipple rub or the Josh Content King, they're wearing the red jerseys, which pretty much says, don't touch him. He's special and he's a quarterback. How that translates to on the field during a game is when a quarterback runs, instead of lowering their shoulder and trying to get a few extra yards, they slide down. It's a safety thing. Like, I'm going to slide. As per the rules, you can't touch me. I'm safe. Arms feel good. Nipples feel great. Let's go throw some more balls. Well, here is a slide from Mac Jones, by which I have not seen the likes of in this type of fashion. So he's running. He goes to slide and kicks his foot up and takes out, don't know who this is on the Bears, but he kicks his nuts. As he slides down, usually right here, the freeze frame it's like a baseball slide. But as he's sliding towards this defender, he's like, well, I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to put my foot up to try and protect myself because I don't want to get hit because it still can happen from time to time. And he goes high excuse me. Like, I got kicked in the nuts. Goes high with the foot and just lets his momentum just like going through the automatic doors at a grocery store, just bing bong, and just takes out his nuts. He tries to jump over and immediately holds his nads, and he's on the ground. He's hurt. I don't know what this is. This is not Mac Jones. But anyways, a lot of quarterback fun this week. And that pretty much does it for the deep shot, except we still got to get Country Strong and check out this week's Country Strong play of the week.
Country Strong play of the week.
Okay. This ear is driving me nuts. When the headphones are on, it's bearable, but taking it off, I can just feel the vibrations of my voice instead of hear what I'm saying. It's been really difficult to think and talk, but I digress. This Country Strong is going to be a little difficult because it requires a little bit of throat work to bring Country Strong Cloud out. But I'm a man of the people. We have to give the people what they want. I'm going to put on this hat. I'm going to bring out Country Strong Cloud. Well, howdy do. Welcome to this week's edition of Country Strong Play of the Week. I'm also dealing with an illness of sorts. My throat's a little sore. My ear don't hear so good right now, but that don't stop me from getting country strong. So let's check out this clip. I was going to prepare myself. I'm going to get a little bit of wishy-wash to wash it down. All righty. I'm ready for Country Strong. Let's take a look at this. Oh, it's a demo derby. Not only is it a demo derby, it's a crazy eight. And here comes this truck around the corner. There are other trucks there because it's a crazy eight Country Strong. Oh, and that truck done took out that other truck with the trailer. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness indeed. This doesn't get much more country stronger than that. But take a look here. Just taking out the trailer. This is the thing. Crazy eight. Demolition Derby. Now, this is not something I have had the privilege to attend firsthand. But I want it more than anything else in my life right now because it's the perfect fixings for everything Country Strong. You got a big old dirt eight. You got trucks with trailers on them, whether they be campers, little haul trailers, horse trailers, no horses in them though. They drive around in the eight. And of course, at that intersect on the eight, you're going to get some carnage, some Country Strong carnage. And that's exactly excuse me, what happens in this here clip. Trucks are coming around that first bend of the eight, coming in, and there are other trucks just trying to catch up into the race, and this one just drops the gear down, speeds up, Country Strong. Oh, and he hits that trailer, still keeps it up too. That has got to be as impressive as I've ever seen for a driver to maneuver a track like this. Because they got a trailer on. I personally, again, have never been to a demo derby on a Crazy 8 where they're hauling trailers. I've never even hauled a trailer. But I can imagine a big old, look at that, it's got to be like a 20-foot camper or something like that. To maintain control after just bulldozing another trailer to still stay in the race. It looks like, that's first place right there. Gives up the spot by taking him out, 1-2 spots. He's still in podium, third spot. And that is Country Strong, Country Focus, Country. Oh my God. Yeah. All righty. Thank you, Clyde, for that Country Stronginess. Get back situated here. And we're going to move on, continuing with the rest of the parade with the news.
Yeah, what's the big deal, fella? It's just a little bit of news.
Top story, because Halloween was just last week. Karen Halloween display removed after a Karen complained to City Hall. The city of Prosser, Washington recently received a complaint about Halloween decorations they put up outside of City Hall and were forced to take them down. Let me show you what this Karen decoration looked like. That's just a scarecrow in Karen's garden with some pumpkins and some fall flowers and a broom with a shirt that says, "Can I speak to the manager?" It's just, a little fun, little Karen jab. Harmless. I mean, I wouldn't even say a jab. It's just like, well, what do you want to be for Halloween? Oh, I want to be Karen because I'm not normally one. Let's put it out in the City Hall garden. Excuse me. But Karens don't usually take kindly to the appropriation of their culture. Folks complain that the display was offensive to certain type of women. Yeah, Karens. And City Hall was forced to take it down. Prosser City Hall also said they would be withdrawing from the historic downtown Prosser decorating contest, acknowledging that the display was inconsistent with the spirit of the competition. So I think this was part of this historic downtown Prosser decorating contest. We're going to decorate City Hall with a Karen. And then when Karens got upset, all right, well, I guess we're not going to compete. Whatever. We've won like 5 years in a row, but you people, you Prosserites. Further, the city says the display was not a political statement, nor was it targeted at a specific individual or group. No, it was a gag. Just making fun of some Karens. Harmless. They have investigated the issue internally and did not find anyone who participated in the display that intended malice. Yeah. They're just like, what are we going to put outside City Hall? Well, let's make a Karen costume. I have a shirt that says, "Can I talk to a manager?" I'll decorate it up. I'm like, oh, that'd be great. Sounds fun. I think the people of Prosser would love it. Maybe the people of Prosser did. The Karens of Prosser did not. Moving forward, the city says there will be staff trainings as to why this was, quote, insensitive and offensive to their community. Is the whole community a bunch of Karens? I mean, did it take one Karen to be like, I'm offended? Or is there a whole gaggle of them out there in Prosser, Washington? And just, those trainings sound so terrible to have to attend. Like, all right, everyone, we're going to stay for an extra 2 hours today with no lunch because some of y'all think it's okay to mock the Karens of our community. We are a proud town, and we do not mock our citizens. Some of you, not saying it was on purpose, but some of you did. And Karen, that one that we all know, had something to say about it. So now we're going to just learn why it's not okay to bash Karens. Prosser, Washington, looking it up, fairly close to where I live, relatively speaking. I might have to take a field trip there at some point and see what all the hullabaloo is about. If it is a Karen town, if I find myself that way, I will be sure to report my findings. And I'll try to ask people too, like, what's the deal with all the Karens in the community? But I digress. Moving on. Next story. Woman escapes bear attack by punching it in the face. It's been a theme of bear attack related stories here on this program, all tying back to episode 14 titled Animal King, where 6% of Americans think that they can beat a bear in hand-to-hand combat to the death. Last week, it was those college wrestlers that fended off the bears with some pretty gnarly injuries. This one, well, let's take a look. Washington State woman. Oh, it's a theme here. A lot of stuff happening up here in the Pacific Northwest. Washington State woman escaped a bear attack outside her home with injuries after she hit it in the face, according to a wildlife official. The unnamed woman in Leavenworth was charged by an adult female black bear as she was letting her dog out. Now, this isn't a grizzly bear like what we had in the story last week in Wyoming. These are black bears. Black bears are native to the Pacific Northwest up there in the Cascades. It's exactly where Leavenworth is. Just kind of a risk to if you live up there. If you live in the woods, there might be bears, and that's where the bears live. They don't really understand nor respect property or boundaries. So the bear charged. She sustained non-life-threatening injuries and was taken to an area hospital. So here's the big asterisk on, is this a victory for a person beating a bear in hand-to-hand combat? No, because the bear didn't die. The bear just got clocked in the head and then ran off. And black bears aren't that big, relatively speaking. They're still fucking bears, but they're not big bears. So maybe a human fist as self-defense to the bear's schnoz was enough to be like, all right, cool, I'll just continue on my way, living my life as a bear. Could have been a different story if it was in a different area, as we learned last week. Here's where the plot kind of thickens. The bear was killed later that morning by wildlife officers. The 2 cubs were captured and taken to a wildlife rehabilitation facility. Now, was this another act of Karen of Leavenworth putting up a fuss of, I don't like that there are bears in my yard, even though I literally live in a valley in the mountains where there are bears all the time. I need you to kill that bear. It scared me. I got a scratch. She didn't see it coming, so she could not make herself big, clap her hands, yell at the bear, wave her arms. Those are the things we usually tell people to do. If the bear knocks you down, then yes, your solution is to fight. This is from a state wildlife biologist explaining how to fend yourself in the midst of a bear, whether you see it or not. Here's where we find out if she's a Karen. Wildlife officials said the bear was put down because it was overweight, indicating that it had likely been eating leftovers and trash. So not a Karen, just the wildlife department doing their duties of killing fat bears because, well, maybe the bear's been eating leftovers and trash. Calling back to the story from last week with the grizzly attack, Wyoming wildlife officials were like, we're not going to kill it. There have been a lot of bears in the area. That's where they live. But up here in Washington, they're like, bear was pretty fat. And that can only mean one thing when a bear gets fat. It must be eating leftovers and trash. Probably has nothing to do with that we are full swing into fall, where bears are preparing for their long naps in hibernation, and they're eating what they can to survive the winter. We'll just make sure you won't survive the winter because we're going to kill you right here. A bear could get into kill a whole deer for a black bear. I don't think they eat deer. They might. Anyways, they come across roadkill, whatever, and they fatten up. They stock up on the natural bounty of nature. Wildlife's like, no, that's a fat bear. We got to kill it, and we're going to take your cubs. I don't know what they did with the cubs. It didn't say what they did, but hopefully those cubs are taught a stern lesson on not to get too fat before hibernation. Moving on to check out this wild news story.
Oh, dude, that's some wild news.
City ordered bikini baristas to cover up. That's unconstitutional. Washington judge rules. All the stories this week are out of the great state of Washington for a multitude of reasons. Now, this is pretty on brand, as well as the black bear, as well as the Karens, whether, Karens are found everywhere. But Washington, specifically the Seattle area, is a hotbed for coffee. The people up here love our coffee. Starbucks is from here. And I believe, I'm not sure because I've grown up here, spent the majority of my life here. I think the Bikini Barista stands are not necessarily unique to the area. I'm sure there are other places in the country and maybe even the world, but the abundance of them here. There are so many Bikini Barista stands in the Pacific Northwest. I've heard stories before of someone driving up thinking it was a regular coffee stand and boom, tits in your face. Oops. I have never been to a Bikini Barista stand, nor do I think I ever will. But that's beside the point. It's big business here, and they were ordered to cover up, and now a judge has said no. Let's learn more. Bikini baristas in a Washington city were banned from wearing pasties and G-strings to work, and a U.S. district court ruled that it was unconstitutional. Free the nipple, strengthening that argument. The judgment centered on dress code laws in the city of Everett passed in 2017, which the workers say clearly targeted the businesses where they worked. Now, I actually worked in Everett in 2017. I remember when this law was passed, and there was a Bikini Barista stand at the gas station where I would fill up cars for my employer. I worked at a dealership. I had to go put gas in cars. Before this ban, you'd roll up. They'd have their windows shut, kind of. That was street and gas station facing. But you could still tell, like, oh yeah, there are women wearing little to nothing in there. After this was passed, they put that opaque covering over the window, and you couldn't, no more free shows for the people who wanted to gas up. Gas station probably lost some revenue too. But anyways, the U.S. District Court judge found the dress code, which required all quick service facility workers to wear shorts and T-shirts that would cover their midriffs, violates the Equal Protection Clause of the U.S. Constitution as well as Washington State's Constitution's 14th Amendment because it targets women's clothing and not men's. The court found that the dress code was shaped by gender-based discrimination, according to the ruling. So, quote from the judge, assuming the owners of Bikini Barista stands are unable or unwilling to enforce this dress code, at some point law enforcement will be asked to measure exposure of skin by some method. This encourages a humiliating, intrusive, and demoralizing search on women, disempowering them and stripping them of their freedom because they can't strip down to their little pasties. So what it's saying is, hey, if these Bikini Barista stand owners aren't going to enforce these codes, we're going to have to get law enforcement involved. And I'm sure over the last 5 years, that was the case. Officers of the police department of Everett were like, I'm going to do a routine check here on Hottie Toddies on 12th, requesting backup. Johnson and Gable, if you want to join me, you know the spot. Then they'd roll up and be like, ma'am, I noticed that there may be more midriff showing than what is allowed by city law. Well, pulls out a measuring stick. I'm going to have to measure you. Also, remember, 2 shots in mine. You know how I like it. Oh, well, you look to be in violation. That is too much midriff. Now, I could take you down to the station, or Officer Friendly's a little thirsty. You're out here protecting these streets. How about you just make that one on the house? So the judge said, yeah, that's not fair. And it's stripping them of their freedoms. The judge found it would be unlikely that these rules would be applied to men's attire. In case in point, there is at least one coffee stand in Seattle that employs hunky men instead of women. Dream Boys Espresso. Come on, I'm from the Seattle area. I got to say this right. Dream Boys Espresso, not Espresso. Opened in 2019 to replace the Bikini Barista's Ladybug Espresso shop. The men bared not only their midriffs, but worked while entirely topless. Huh. So women have to cover up when they serve coffee, but men can just do it with their shirts off? Ooh, I sense a divide. According to the ruling, the dress code clearly treats women differently than men by banning a wide variety of women's clothing, not just pasties and G-strings or bikinis. That's very true. A lot of women's fashion has, a little bit of midriff showing. Very few men's fashion does. So good on this judge for noticing this oppression and doing something about it. The judge ultimately decided the city didn't prove how its disparate treatment of women was meant to achieve the stated goals of the dress code. Pretty much, hey, I'm a judge just like any other judge, and I just want justice. And pasty tits. And coffee. Case closed. And that is going to do it for the news. Let's take a quick break here and talk about some capitalism.
It's time for a dose of capitalism. Live, buy, consume, die.
And as I do each week, I do want to give a shout out to the paid supporters of this show. AJ Joe, Michael Davis, Reverend Tanner Mills, Quinn, and Tyler. They're your names for this week. Thank you for your support. If you would like to support the show, if you've made it this far in, you're like, hey, I'm liking this stuff, I'm going to throw a few bucks this guy's way. Well, as of last week, new platform to do just that, the Patreon. As a Patreon, you can join the Swaytreon, if you will, to help support the Sway Parade. 2 tiers. First one, Parade Plus, $6.90 a month. Second one, Parade Plus Infinity, $14.69 a month. A variety of perks for both. You get your name set on the show. You get, hold on. You gotta live, you gotta buy, you gotta consume, but above all, you're gonna die. The perks are awesome. You get your name set on the show. You get, just check it out. Hey, how about that? It's in the video description on YouTube. It's in the link in the bio on the social medias. It's in the show notes on the podcast platform. Check it out. If you want to invest in the show, go ahead and do it. Every single dollar that comes this way comes to improving this show. So give it a look or not. I'm not your boss. I can't tell you what to do. Now, before we round out the show, we still have a segment we have to take care of, and that is scrubbing clips.
Scrub my clip.
Taking a look at clips from around the net. Perfect time to mention whether this segment, whether it's the news, whether it is the sports. If you find something that you think, hey, I want to see this on the show, I want to see it talked about, dissected, what have you, you can send it my way. Social media, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, at Chuck_Sway. Just slide a DM my way. I will make sure that you get credit for what you have shared. But also, if you want to email it, if it's maybe not particularly appropriate for those platforms, send in an email. That address is imhim@chucksway.com. And in the Scrub My Clip segment, we do have the moistest clip, and more often than not, that content is blurred for YouTube's view and eyes. So again, whatever you find, send it my way. I'd love to take a look at it. And speaking of taking a look at things, let's look at the first clip here.
Camera recording.
What's up, neighbors? Just got back from the church. Heard a good one. Wanted to share it with you. Do trees poop? Do they poop? Well, of course they do. How would we get number 2 pencils? Later, gator.
So this is either the worst neighbor in the history of neighbors, not because, they're disruptive and dirty, what have you. It's the exact opposite. It's because they're too fucking nice and too polite and too happy-go-lucky. Or this is the latter, and this guy is tweaked out of his mind. You can see from the mannerisms. He rolls up.
Camera recording.
He's kind of doing a little ju. I'm in a good mood. He's probably got a coffee in his hand. Probably got it from a barista stand, bikinis. Maybe just saw some titties. He's just feeling it.
What's up, neighbors? Just got back from the church.
And he goes up. Either these neighbors, whoever own this house, aren't home, or they just know, they see this guy walking around, and they go inside and they lock their fucking doors and they're just pretend that they're not home. But this guy is probably conditioned to it. Comes up and he's like, well, even if they're not home, I know they got a Ring camera. And so he comes up and leans over, and the fisheye lens just accentuates just the size of his head and makes it just look massive.
Heard a good one.
Just got back from the church. Heard a good one. Why do trees poop? Or do trees poop? Whatever it was. I'm butchering it now. Of course I do. How would we get number 2 pencils? do. And even after he tells his punchline, he like goes in.
How would we get number 2 pencils?
Laughing at his own joke, and then just gets as close to the camera as he can, like to fog up the lens. Like, I'm never moving. At you. And then this, I might adopt this to how I bid people farewell in my day-to-day. For years, it's been toodles. But this one might kick that out of the way. It's time for a new era of salutations as you leave.
Later, Gator.
Later, Gator. And then just bye-bye. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. As a viewer, in the comfort of my own home, where I know I don't have a neighbor like this. If I owned this home and lived here, I would not want to move soon enough, because this is probably not the first time that this has happened. You know, moving into the neighborhood, you know, it's like, oh, I met Paul. He's really nice. Like really eccentric, like just excited. Like he seems like he's going to be a good neighbor. 2, 3, 4 months later, 2, 3, 4 years later, and you're like, oh, fuck, dude. We need to get out of town. Did you get home and he's just walking his dog, and his dog probably does the same thing. He's just like, do. Oh, hey, do. And he might, I might turn into this guy if I'm going to adopt his salute to goodbye. Every time they're talking, it's like, oh, did you hear about that war in Ukraine? I can't think of any war zingers, but he's probably got them. Gets a lot of jokes at church probably. And he's like, yeah, it's crazy, man. Like Putin, you know? All right, well, I got a roast going. I got to go take care of it. He's like, all right, later, Gator. Ooh. I love it and I hate it at the same time. If you have a joke like that, by the way, just plugging back to the hotline, call it. And just so I know that we're speaking in this code, be sure to end your call, 818-275-SWAY, with later Gator, and then just kind of dance out of it, ooh, and then hang up. Next clip.
Listen, man, we're just here to enjoy the show.
Why are you doing that? We're just trying to make sure it's accurate. What's accurate?
The event. I thought you could dress up. Okay, so where do we need to go to?
Bro, how did 30 seconds in? Like, what the fuck?
I promise you, they probably never had this happen before. Hey, yo, Brody, that looks like some more like medieval armor than anything.
It's civil.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm a Civil War historian. Like, I know all the drip that they had.
He did too. Where's the video going?
Oh, this is for the History Channel.
Okay.
Do you know what time the auction block starts?
They didn't have an auction block today.
Fuck. I was trying to be the first overall pick.
So if you are just listening and trying to piece together what the fuck is going on, well, the video here is about 4 minutes long on Twitter. The full video on YouTube, I think, is 15 minutes. Two prominent YouTubers that I don't know their names. I don't think I've seen any of their videos before, but after seeing this clip, I had to go and seek it out. These two fellas are of a darker complexion, And they thought it'd be a grand idea to go to a Civil War reenactment. I think if memory serves me correct, it was in Kentucky. They go there with ripped shirts, chains around their feet and their hands. And they're like, hey, we're here for the Civil War reenactment, right? Like, wasn't this whole war fought over slaves, and should they be okay? Shouldn't they be? And right, this is just a 30-second snippet, but they turned some heads, and a lot of the people there are like, you can't do this. We don't do this here. It's like, well, you don't do slavery reenactment, but you do Civil War reenactment? Like, you're with the Confederacy. You can tell me right now, if this was 150, 200 years ago, however long it was, you wouldn't be fighting to keep me chained up. And they're trolling them big time, especially the people that are like, that's unacceptable. It's like, oh, that's what you're reenacting. That's that part of history. They even brought, like, because they went to the craft store, got like little cotton balls, and like, we'll pick it for you. I mean, just menaces in, I think, one of the best ways I have ever seen. And this is my hope that it'll start some sort of trend of when there is a Civil War reenactment to show up, not to be as menacing as these two were. Because there's a point where one of the reenactors is like, where are you guys from? And then one of the guys is like, my daddy's nutsack. It's like, okay, like maybe in like the normal crashings of these reenactments, don't be so menacing. But just for them to show up, be like, we're here for the Civil War reenactment. Like, no, we don't do that here. Like, we want to turn a blind eye that there was slavery in the country and that black and brown people were oppressed. We just want to ride some horses, and we're going to fire off one of the muskets, the rifles a little later with the bayonet on it. That should be fun, right? Yeah, but you did it to either free slaves or to keep them slaves. So do you want us to just go over there? I recommend watching the entire video. And just a quick reference of everything that is shown on here. And I should have mentioned this before I had a brain fart during the dose of capitalism. On Patreon, there's a free section where you get all of the links to everything that's shown on the show. And I highly recommend going and checking out this video, the longer version one. I'll even put that in the hyperlink, so it just goes straight to that. But yeah, just good reference to know, something to not forget. Also, another thing not to forget, there were slaves in America. It's part of history, and we're doing our damnedest, the good folk of this country, to be like, yeah, it happened. Let's not let it happen again, or a current version of it with oppression and all that. But I'm just a guy on a podcast. I can just show you, hey, let's start the conversation. Were there slaves in the Civil War? I'm sure there are groups out there that are like, there were no slaves. They just wanted to be the South, you know? They wanted football and cotton, and the North wanted wigs and snow shovels. I don't fucking know. Anyways, let's move on to the end of this segment and checking out some moist clips.
This next clip is so moist.
And this one is a twofer of the same theme. Let's take a look.
Hey, Daniel, come here. Come here. You ever seen anything like this before?
No, I haven't. Huh.
Yeah. Wow. Strange one, this one. Happy Friday.
So, if you are a little confused of what you just saw, these guys work in a auto shop, and they put a big old wooden board on the lifts, raised it up, and there's a hole cut out. And drooping from that hole looks to be the saggiest ass you've ever seen. They even do a little plop. It kind of jiggles. Then you realize no ass is that flabby. It comes up. It is a dude's belly. the biggest, most moistest belly you ever did see. And now that I'm looking at this video again, there's a theme in the news that everything was in Washington. This big old belly is also in Washington, given the plates of this truck in the back. There is another clip of this. Oh, the thing is just hanging. Like that's 20% of his mass just like, I mean, we all got guts. But this is a special talent. There's only certain situations in building up your body to this point where you have this much sag on your belly.
That's the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
And it looks like just a saggy, mushy ass. But it's not. It's a big old belly.
You think of that?
Oh, now this, I'm going to get a little frisky on YouTube and not blur this out, but this looks like just a giant hairy ass where I have it paused. If you're listening, check the timestamp and go take a look. Unless YouTube's like, hey, we can't show this. Then I'll have to re-upload it and blur it out. But take a look at this big old belly ass.
No, my hole.
Oh, he's just laying there hanging out. Now, the account is Captain Fantasy on Instagram. And I didn't notice this before, but in the spirit of Halloween, looks like one of the guys at this shop painted their big old man titties with little ghosts. I don't think this is the belly hanger, though. I think it's this guy right here off to the side. Is there a video?
Happy Fupa Friday.
So they're branding it Fupa Friday. I didn't even notice. I was just looking at the tits. Hey, baristas can show them now. And so can auto shop workers. But there's also a giant pumpkin with a P on the belly for Fupa Friday. That's what they're branding it as. I don't hear this plop again. This wasn't in the script, but...
Happy Fupa Friday.
Oh, man. Just listen to this plop. Oh,
Happy Fupa.
Oh, it's like a sack of wet mush that just goes. Oh, my God. This is incredible. Captain Fantasy on Instagram, if you want to check them out. I don't think it's one guy. I think there's a few guys there with some big old bellies. Definitely worth the follow. Okay. Well, that's going to pretty much do it for the show this week. But we still have to pray to the almighty algorithm. So at this point in time, please bow your heads if you want to. You don't have to. And help me pray to the almighty algorithm. Oh, almighty algorithm. Here we are. With full bellies of content that if we can, we'll dangle it from the rafters. Because you brought us this content. You brought us the Bikini Baristas of Washington, their freedom. And now we know that they are free to wear pasties and thongs and serve their customers with pride. And almighty algorithm, you have given Josh Allen the talent to not only play football really well, but also make killer content. This is for you, almighty algorithm. Thank you. Amen. Okay, last bit of business before we get out of here for this week. Another shout out to AJ Joe, Michael Davis, Reverend Tanner Mills, Quinn, and Tyler. Thank you for your support. If you want to sign up for the Patreon, it's patreon.com/Chuck Sway. All one word for the Chuck Sways. All the links, everything there is for free. You don't have to sign up to see, what was discussed and shown. Next week, there's going to be a special fill-in host because I am going to be not here. And that about does it. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Another friendly reminder, offerings to the almighty algorithm are positive ratings or negative ratings, stars, follows, subscriptions, all that stuff. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.